All your dad homies who I'm talking about. All you homie. 6ix9ine's girl is gone, taken out cold, and the streets can't stop buzzing about it. New footage just surfaced showing him right before everything went down, and people are saying his mouth may have sparked the hit that ended in blood. August 17th, 2025, turned into a nightmare that left the hip-hop scene frozen just as the city was waking up. Ariela Langoa, a 29-year-old Dominican beauty with serious buzz, was discovered slumped inside her car on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon. Her murder had everybody questioning what really happened, but the loudest whispers were about her ties to one of rap's most controversial names, Tekashi 6ix9ine, and whether his chaos dragged her straight into danger. Ariela wasn't just some random Instagram face. She was a rising force. With over 500,000 followers on IG and another 115,000 on TikTok, she had New York hooked with her wild energy, dancing, and modeling that had people glued to her every post. But here's where it gets real. Outside the filters and the fame, Ariela was deep in New York's nightlife game. She moved in the same dangerous spaces as rappers, hustlers, and internet stars, where clout can turn deadly in a second. Ariela was stacking cash and brushing shoulders with drama while working at hot spots like Icon New York and Starlets. These weren't just clubs. They were playgrounds where celebs, influencers, and street heavyweights all collided. A powder keg of fame, ego, and money that could explode any night. The night before her murder, August 16th, 2025, Ariela was lit on IG posting stories from Icon, the same club where she hustled her bag. Clips showed her laughing, dancing, glowing like life couldn't touch her. But nobody knew those would be the last joyful moments she'd ever share, just hours before everything turned dark. Bro, not surprised. Tell her on his girl. Bro 6ix9ine just about to tell on anybody, huh? Yeah, come on. That's what makes this case so chilling. She looked carefree, but behind the glitz was a storm brewing, one tied to Tekashi 6ix9ine himself. Now fans, investigators, and even haters are scrambling to connect the dots, wondering how much his messy track record with the feds plays into the deadly twist that left Ariela gone. A no-jumper clip shows it clear. 6ix9ine has no hesitation when it comes to talking to 12. What's your definition of a snitch? Let's start there. A snitch is somebody I feel like will do anything to get out of a situation. You know what I'm trying to say? Like a snitch will get faced with something and would just give up their mother, their brother, their everybody, their whole camp just to be free. Even about people he's supposed to be tight with. The host's shocked reaction says it all. The culture sees this as betrayal, plain and simple. And 6ix9ine himself admitted it. His pattern of snitching isn't some one-off. This is how he moves with law enforcement every time. Street voices have been blasting him for years, pointing out how quick he is to feed info to the cops. That detail becomes heavy when people start asking why Ariela ended up catching those bullets. Now, her link to Tekashi is the centerpiece of all the whispers. Were they a couple or just close friends? Nobody can agree. Some insiders swear Ariela was 6ix9ine's girl, while others claim he called her sis, trying to paint it as a platonic but deep connection. That confusion isn't random. It shows how tricky things get in 6ix9ine's world, where claiming someone publicly can be just as dangerous as denying it. And in Ariela's case, that blurry line might have cost her everything. One thing is clear. The bond between Ariela and 6ix9ine went way past casual friendship. She wasn't just in the background. She starred in his music video for WAPA alongside Angel Dior, Linner, and Bololin 47. That wasn't some blink and you miss it cameo. Her presence lit up the screen, showing off her charisma and tying her directly into 6ix9ine's music world in a way fans couldn't ignore. But that wasn't all. In 2023, they popped out together at the Toga Room in New York, a major nightlife spot where appearances mean status. That moment showed they were comfortable enough to be seen side by side, but still careful about not letting too much slip into the public eye. With 6ix9ine, even the smallest outing turns into speculation, and Ariela standing next to him spoke volumes. Now, here's where it gets even heavier, the timing. By 2025, Tekashi wasn't the same loud, reckless figure fans were used to. His life was under a whole new set of chains. After a 45-day hit in federal custody in late 2024, he walked out on strict probation, locked under house arrest with an ankle monitor, barred from leaving the country, and forced to play by the system's rules. In July 2025, things got even darker. 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to drug charges after a March raid on his Florida mansion uncovered MDMA, cocaine, and other stashes. He was set to face sentencing that September. Would I fold on, though? When you took the stand, or when you fold on when you snitched? All right. So let me ask you something. Son, if you was in that position, what you would have done for me? You got to understand. And I don't answer the question. I would never tell. All right. So listen what I'm saying. If you was in that position, you would have did that, Tom. Meaning his every move was under a microscope. Hitting New York's nightlife at that point wasn't just unlikely. It could have blown up his whole legal standing in seconds. Yet, Ariella's death is now tangled up with his wild past and all the enemies he's made since flipping from street-linked rapper to full-on federal informant. In unreleased footage, 6ix9ine explains his mindset the moment he chose to cooperate, and the defensive way he argues proves how unapologetic he really is. He doesn't just admit it. He challenges others, daring them to say what they would have done in his shoes. That attitude matters because when you look at Ariella's murder, the question becomes, did being close to him paint a target on her back? The transformation of Daniel Hernandez into Tekashi 6ix9ine, then into a cooperating witness, is a saga the world already knows. But when you put Ariella in the middle of that chaos, it hits different. And let's not forget, his snitching past wasn't just old news. He was still catching heat in 2025. Months before Ariella's death, a fake casket was literally delivered to his Florida home, spray-painted with the name of rival King Von. That chilling message showed enemies hadn't forgotten, and some were willing to send brutal warnings straight to his doorstep.